Yo guys, anboniwow here, and I'm here on the Legion Alpha in our brand new Order class hall. Yeah. And it's kind of empty. I think nobody actually knows you can get here on the PvP servers. Or maybe they do and nobody cares. And we have this ugly bar in the top. I don't like that at all. But it is what it is. In this video, what I'll be doing is I'll be talking about Shadow Priests, basically in Legion. I'll go over talents, like artifact talents. Not so much though, because they're pretty boring and yeah. Also honor talents. But I'll start off by saying that Shadow Priest PvP in Legion seems really fun, and I like it way more than in the current state of the game, which is Warlords of Draenor. Yeah. With that being said, let's dive straight into the rotation and what like a normal basic rotation would feel like. And we have our good friends, the bound void walkers and stuff, which are our target dummies actually. So the whole gameplay is kind of similar to the Warlord style in the sense that you ramp up by using abilities, and then as soon as you hit void form, it's like you would have 5 orbs and you do a lot of damage. Basically, the whole idea is based around you going in void form and staying in void form for as long as possible. So most of our abilities actually give us insanity, which is our new resource right here. See? Insanity, more insanity, and more insanity. And then once we get to 100 or 60 if you have a talent, which is really good, then you can activate your void form. Bam, you spawn some tentacles and this orb here, which I'll get to in a second, and you get access to 2 more abilities, as well as your insanity drains faster and faster, as you see, until it reaches 0 and you exit void form. That was unfortunate, and yeah, I can go in void form again though, see, and I get this stacking buff of haste. So for every second you're in void form, you get 1% haste. See, look at that. That's awesome. So definitely you want to be in void form for as long as possible, and that's pretty much the gameplay. The thing is, you're always gonna kill people in void form, so void form is the big thing, right? That's why you want to stay in void form forever, because if you're gonna kill someone, you're gonna kill them in void form for sure. And other than that, not a lot of things changed. We got a couple of new abilities, but I'll get to that. First of all, let's go through the abilities first, shouldn't we? Shall we? So first of all, we have obviously our dots. The Empiric Touch actually heals us for 100% of the damage dealt, which is nice, means you can VT more people and it's going to be a pretty decent hot on you. So that's self-heal number 1. Keep this in mind because self-healing is out of this world for Shadow Priests. Then we have obviously Shadow Word Pain, and we have a new interface as well. See, this is all default UI. I have no add-ons here. So this thing here is the default UI, and also you can see our dots here on top of the enemy nameplates. That's pretty nice. So we have the 2 dots. Then we have our Mind Blast, which is now a cast. Well, I just got an instant Mind Blast there, but Mind Blast is now a cast again. Yeah, Mind Blast. And then we have obviously Mind Flay and Mind Seer, and that's about it for damage. And then when we go into void form, we have all of those plus this thing here, which is our main source of damage, basically Void Bolt, which is kind of like an instant Mind Blast. You shoot it once and it refreshes the duration of your dots. We still have Dispersion, and that sound is very annoying, and I'll get to that in a second. But we also have this ability called Void Torrent, which is kind of like a super OP Mind Flay, and it does a ton of damage. And you can only cast that one and the Void Bolt in Shadow form. In Void form. So that's pretty much it with the rotation. Let's just move over into talents now. Alright? So on the first tier we have a pretty decent choice. Usually I would run Twist of Fate. Twist of Fate is actually buffed from live. It's a 20% damage increase and healing increased. So I think it's actually pretty good. Shadow Word Void is again really good as well because it gives you a ton of insanity, and you can basically get into void form really fast from the beginning, which is what you will want to do all the time. And the only reason why I'm thinking of speccing out of Twist of Fate and into Shadow Word Void is we no longer have Cascade, and Cascade used to work really well with Twist of Fate, especially in BGs and stuff like that. because you would just cascade one person, and you know, most often than not you would get a Twist of Fate proc from the cascade just jumping around and hitting something on low HP. But since we don't have that anymore, I'm actually thinking of speccing into Shadow Word Void, but for now Twist of Fate seems really cool, so I'm gonna stick with that for now. But Shadow Word Void is also pretty good. What it is, as I said, it's like a Mind Blast that does not a lot of damage, but it generates twice as much insanity, so 30. So I can just do 2 of those and I'm in void form already. So I'm not exactly sure which one of them is better. Maybe I'll stick with this one in the end. I have no idea. This one has 3 charges as well, so you can get really fast into void form. But it's nice, we have a choice there. And this one is just Mind Flare, Mind Blast, deal 10% more damage and generate 20% more insanity. The insanity generation part is not that impressive, since it basically makes Mind Blast generate 18 instead of 15, which is not a big increase, and 10% more damage on Mind Flay is nobody cares, and 10% more damage on Mind Blast is, again, it's too low. You're not gonna kill people with Mind Blast. You're gonna kill people with either Void Torrent or Void Bolt or Shadow Word Death. Of course, we still have Shadow Word Death. Alright, next up we got Mania, Body and Soul, and Masochism, and this is a talent here I don't like too much. To be honest, I don't like Body and Soul in general. It's the same as live. When you shield someone, it gives them a 4-second sprint, and I think it's the best here, but it's not amazing. Masochism, what it does is basically our Shadow Mend, which is by the way, our new Flash Heal. It's just like Flash Heal, except that if you're in combat, it also puts a dot on you, so you can actually use that to break CC, because I've tested it. So if you pre-Shadow Mend yourself and then you get sheeped, the dot is gonna break the sheep. That's funny. And Masochism, what it does is removes the dot effect and it makes it a hot instead. So you can't really do that anymore. So I don't think Masochism is that good. And then Mania is just you move 1% faster for every 5 insanity you have. That means at 100 insanity you'll move 20% faster. But that's not really good either, because to be honest, you're not gonna stay at 100 insanity that much. So like, I'd rather have, you know, control over when I have my sprint. But I don't like it for some other reason, and I'll get to that in a second. Alright, so I'd go for Body and Soul here. Next up, we got a very shitty tier, sadly for PvP. We got Mind Bomb, Psychic Voice, and Dominant Mind. Psychic Voice makes our fear a 30-second cooldown down from a minute, so it's gonna be the most used one, I imagine. Dominant Mind is gonna be always 100% gonna be used in PvE. What it does is basically it gives you a pet. You can mind control things and also move around, so it's like you have a pet, but you can't use mind control on people anymore, like on players, so it's completely useless in PvP. And then Mind Bomb is decent. It's a range stun on a 30-second cooldown. The problem is it replaces fear, and it is a cast as well. So I don't think it's gonna be too good. Look at it, Mind Bomb. Boop. I don't think it's terrible, but if it were instant, it would be actually really strong, and not necessarily OP, because, well, it is a no, it wouldn't be OP. What am I saying? Like, Warlocks have Shadow Fury. It's just like Shadow Fury. It's even worse. So yeah, normally I'd go Psychic Voice. Right, next up we got a really good tier, except for Void Ray. Alright, so Void Lord, it gives us Lingering Insanity for 8 more seconds after we pop Void Form. What that means is, if I am to go into Void Form really quick here, let me spec into this one as well. I'm in combat, never mind. Alright, so I'm in Void Form, and I get this Void Form stacking thing, right? Which gives me like haste per second, alright? So as soon as Void Form ends, we're gonna wait for it to end. This thing is gonna transform into Lingering Insanity, and it lasts for a minute. And then, normally if you were to go in Void Form again, this buff would go away and you would start from 0 haste again. But with the Void Lord talent, you actually keep the buff for 8 more seconds. And I think it's super good. I think it's actually better than Reaper of Souls, even though a lot of people do prefer Reaper of Souls. Because whenever I hit Insanity now, well, 15 is not a lot, but if I hit Insanity, this is where I'm going to do the most damage. And now I have the 15 plus the 3, 4 and whatever. So look at my haste. My haste, well, it's not a lot because I messed it up. But as soon as you hit the second Void Form, you have so much damage right there. I think that's more important than having Shadow Word Death on targets with 35% health. Actually, Shadow Word Death doesn't even hit that hard anymore. The best part about Reaper of Souls is that Shadow Word Death gives you Insanity, and it gives you 30, and that's pretty good. So they're both really competitive. I kind of like Void Lord more though, so I'll probably stick with this one. And then Void Ray, it's kind of bad to be honest. I don't imagine anyone taking this even in PvE. Just increases your Mind Flay damage, but you don't Mind Flay that much. You do, but you don't really. Alright, moving on, we got Sun Lion, whatever. Auspicious Spirits and Shadowy Insight. Shadowy Insight makes, it's like the old school Shadowy Insight. It makes Shadow Word Pain have a 10% chance to reset the cooldown of Mind Blast and also make it instant. And that is really, really good, because it means we can just not cast again. You know, there it is. Instant Mind Blast. And these things proc a lot actually. This is not a very good example, but they do proc a lot. There it is. There's another one. There's another one. So it's really good. Auspicious Spirits increases the damage of Auspicious Spirits by 100% and also makes them generate 4 Insanity. Now this would be good, but since we can't really choose our stats in PvP anymore, the crit chance we get is really low. I believe it's like 16 in PvP. And this is not bad, but this is much better. Because it's 15 Insanity whenever this procs, whereas this one, we need 3 Shadowy Apparitions just to get the equivalent of this, and then also the damage is not there. So I think this one is way better. And then Sanlian is actually decent, it's not bad at all. It increases the damage of Vampiric Touch by 20%, and remember Vampiric Touch also heals us for 100% of the damage dealt, so it's 20% more healing as well, and also increases the healing done by Vampiric Embrace by 20%. And in case you didn't know, Vampiric Embrace is not useless anymore. It actually heals for 40% of any single target's shadow spell damage you deal. Wow. Like just one nearby ally, by the way, not all the raid. But it's good, it's great, it's usable in Arena now, it's great. And then on the next year we got Power Infusion, Mindbender and Shadow Crash. Shadow Crash is really fun, I like the animation of it. Sadly it does way too low damage for such a slow moving spell. And it generates too little Insanity in my opinion. It's 15 Insanity on demand and the damage is really bad. Mindbender is my personal preference here, because if you go, for instance, basically if you pop Mindbender in the beginning of a fight, you go into Void form really fast, like super fast. Mindbender gives you so much Insanity on demand. It's on a 1 minute cooldown as well. I think Mindbender is the best here, but Power Infusion is actually really strong as well as a DPS cooldown. So I'm not exactly sure. I don't really like Power Infusion. I don't know why, but I don't like it. It's like I don't like having long cooldowns. It's 2 minute cooldown. It's not very long, but it's not bad. So I might try Power Infusion, but for now Mindbender is my choice. And next up we've got our level 100 talents. These two are not even worth, well, this one is worth mentioning. Mind Spike is complete garbage. Look at this, it turns your Mind Flay into Mind Spike, which does no damage at all. Oh wow, it actually crit there. Oh, it's critting a lot now. Oh, it's critting a lot. What's happening? Look at that. It does no damage at all, as you can see. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so it doesn't really do damage. And also, whenever you so if I Mind Blast, it's gonna detonate all of these things to do... Ooh, wait a minute, 300,000 damage. This wasn't like this before. Wait a minute. Did they buff it? Wait a minute. This used to do like no damage at all. Mind Spike does quite low damage, don't really like... I still don't like it. Definitely not as good as the other one. Let me try this again. This actually is pretty decent damage. Oh, it's low now, it's 200. It's not horrible though. Let's do some big deeps here. Nah, it's not good. I don't think, no, it's not competitive at all. Legacy of the Void is the best basically. You can activate Void form at 60 Insanity instead of 100. That is crazy good. This is really good. And Surrender to Madness is fun because you can move while casting. But the weird thing is, you know, it says if you exit Void form you die. But even if you don't ever go into Void form, you can still cast while moving. And then even if you don't go into Void form at all, when the debuff runs out on you, you die. I think that's a bug, but yeah. It's fun in duels actually. You can make some funny specs in duels. You can go Surrender to Madness to cast while moving. you can go Void Ray, so you can spam Mind Flare on people. You can go Mania, because you'll be at 100 Insanity all the time anyway. And then in PvP talents, we'll get to these in a second, you go Edge of Insanity, and it basically gives you 20% more damage all the time. So it's pretty nice. I tried it though, and it's not that good. I mean, you really want to get into Void form in order to do damage. Alright, so I think I'm actually gonna stop this video now because it's getting really long. I just looked left to my folder where I'm recording these, and it looks really long. So on the next video I'm gonna cover honor talents and maybe even artifact talents. The thing with artifact, yeah, I'll talk about artifacts as well. And maybe I'll give you some like examples of fights. But for now, thanks a lot for watching this one, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!